snipers, you have to see what's happening in the Bitcoin price right now. There are some very important things that we have to monitor this week with the DXY potentially approaching a major resistance level, the S&P 500 and Bitcoin testing their yearly lows. We have new previous weekly opens on this video, and our daily candle and weekly candle about to reset in less than 30 minutes. Smash like button for the YouTube algorithm, snipers, if you support this content, and let's dive straight into the chart, snipers. So looking at Bitcoin right now with futures markets open, coming down to 18,798. The immediate short-term and new resistance level, which is the previous weekly open, is going to be 19,417. We need to see hourly and 4-hour candles above 19,714 if we want to assume any upside price action coming into this week for Bitcoin. If we're not getting above 19,417, then the door right now is still open for a potential bear trap, a double bottom, a lower low at 17,204. Now, how are equity markets reacting right now to the DXY opening up in the green? Well, remember, snipers, the DXY is approaching a multi-year resistance level here at 114. This dates back to 2008, which is why we have to monitor this extremely important resistance level here for the DXY. And if we do see the DXY reject this resistance level, that could be the early signs of a potential short-term bottom where the DXY could potentially start to cool off, still in a very bullish trend, weighing above its 20-week moving average. At some point or another, it will start to cool off. And so markets are forward-looking. We have to monitor this, snipers. The S&P 500 right now is still holding its yearly lows. Now, it's barely doing it. You can see we are just at the cusp of breaking those yearly lows. That is something extremely important that we have to monitor into this week. We had a weekly candle last week with indecision. Our new major resistance right now is 3889 for the E-mini futures contract. That's the first level of resistance that if we can get above that hourly and 4-hour candles, that is the early signs of a reversal right now. If we were to look at what's happening to the DXY, by the way, the previous weekly opens at 109,643. We would have to get below 109 if we want to assume the DXY is ready to calm down. So a lot to monitor this week. The main point, snipers, for this week is that the DXY is potentially approaching a major resistance level. We have to see how the DXY reacts to this resistance level. The S&P 500 testing its yearly lows. How is the S&P 500 going to react here? Are we going to be seeing a double bottom, which is a bottoming formation where you form a low and then you come back down to test those lows, but you do not go further below those lows? Maybe a wick, but then you start to see price action to the upside. I'm sure that there could be a potential double bottom in place, even for Bitcoin. How did we top out for Bitcoin? A double top, right? So why wouldn't a double bottom be a potential scenario on the table for a bottom, right? So we topped out with a double top. What about a bottom of a double bottom, right? We had a higher high for the Bitcoin Binance spot chart. A lot of other charts like futures charts formed a lower high. So what if Bitcoin forms either a lower low or a higher low to bottom out here? Because what the bulls are saying is that when inflation peaked in June, that was the bottom. They are still sticking to that thesis. Of course, it's being tested, as we've been talking about, with S&P 500 testing these yearly lows. But what odd timing, right when interest rates are starting to be increased. This week, we don't have any of those fundamentals in play. It should be a quite calm week fundamentally. Could that translate into some upside price action into this week on the charts? Well, that's something we'll have to monitor. Those previous weekly opens are extremely important. 19,417 for Bitcoin, snipers, is what we're monitoring in the immediate short term. Now, let's talk about Ethereum really quick because something interesting is happening here, snipers. Check this out. The Ethereum to Bitcoin chart above the previous weekly open right now at 68,723 Satoshis. We have to monitor this. 65,000 Satoshis is also extremely important. And remember, we're also testing the 20-week moving average, the bull market support here for the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart. For those bulls out there for Ethereum, we have to maintain 65,000 Satoshis and that 20-week moving average. And how does that translate into the US dollar pairing? Let's look at that right now. Well, Ethereum, a little bit of a different scenario here, but the previous weekly open, the new resistance level 1344. If we can get above 1344 for Ethereum, that's the early signs of a rescue operation starting to come into play, where we could see some potential upside targets. The immediate short-term support 1165, and then below that 909 US dollars. Let's continue to monitor the Ethereum price. Now Japan is ahead of us, so if you want to time travel with me, snipers, let's look at Japan. down 0.58%. So a pretty calm market right now. The DXY for futures up 0.09% as I record this video, and the S&P 500 down 0.0%. So a very calm futures market, something that we could expect after a very volatile week last week. This is an exciting time, snipers. I'll keep you guys updated as always. The #1 cryptocurrency channel on the internet for the last 5 years, every single day. Smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm if you support this content. And with that being said, snipers, thank you guys for tuning in today. I will see you next time. Enjoy your Sunday and have an amazing week. And there's a hurricane coming here in Florida. I might be going to Los Angeles, or if there is a hurricane, I will let you guys know if there's not going to be a video out, but that should land on Thursday here in Florida. So we're not going to have this amazing weather for a couple of days with that hurricane landing here on Thursday morning. So I'll update you guys, but with that, thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time, snipers.